Black people, Black Americans, they need to accept, we need to accept that America is not our country. America is not our nation. I know it's hard to swallow as Black Americans, but America is not our nation. Our ancestors built this nation of America, but this nation was not built for us. America was built by us, but it was not built for us. If America was the black man's country, if America was the black man's nation, then how come black people do not run anything in America? The American government is not ran by black people. The several police forces in America are not ran by black people. The FBI is not ran by black people. The hospitals across the country are not ran by black people. Most of the companies in this country, in America, are not ran by black people. American black man, get over your dream. America is not your country. I'll say it one more time. American black man, get past your fantasy. America is not your fucking country. Get over it. It's not. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. Our ancestors built the country, had a strong cultural influence on the country. Our ancestors invented a lot of technology. You know, our ancestors built America, but this country was built by us, but it was not built for us. If America was the black man's country, then how come your black ass faces racism everywhere you turn? If America was a black man's country, how come your black ass faces racism everywhere your black ass turns in public? You go to the store as a black man. You get security guards following you around every time you go to a store. As a black man, you already know not to talk to no woman because the women are going to keep their guard up against your black ass because they're trained not to talk to black men. You go to the workplace, you get fired for a small little mistake as a black man. Everyone else can make mistakes at the workplace, but as soon as your black ass makes one little mistake as a black man, your black ass gets fired from the workplace. If America was the black man's country, then how come we don't have any privileges? We have all these disadvantages that I just listed, but if America was our country, we would have all these privileges. This country would respect black men if America was our country. Are black men in America respected? Hell the fuck no. You know why black men are not respected in America? Because it's not your fucking country. I understand why we would want this to be our country because we put so much blood, sweat, and tears in this country as black Americans. We went through slavery, Jim Crow. We're still getting oppressed today. So we have pride. You know, our ancestors built this country, but it's not our country. You got to accept it. This is not our country in America, and it never will be our country in America. And the proof is in the pudding. If you don't run, if your race of people don't run the government, then it's not your fucking country. As a black American, Like, I don't understand why our people do not want to leave America. Most black people, if you discuss moving out of this country, they'd be like, why? Why leave America? We shouldn't leave America. We shouldn't leave America. We're patriotic Americans. Okay, your black ass is patriotic. But if America loves you so much, then where's your fucking reparations? Where's your reparations? Why do you have so much desire to be in a place, in a country, in a nation that does not like your black ass? You know this country does not like your black ass as a black man because you face racism everywhere your black ass turns. Why do you have a desire as a black American male to be in a nation that hates your black ass? I don't get it. And you should want to leave America, as a black American. Why do you like being oppressed? Black people, I think we like being oppressed. Black Americans, I believe we love being oppressed. We just like this shit. We gotten so used to the oppression from slavery, Jim Crow, that it's just in our DNA to be oppressed by white people. And we think it's our role now to be permanent second class citizens. Black Americans today, we are some weak motherfuckers. And we want to stay in America so we can be permanent second class citizens to white people. Because it's in our DNA to be second class citizens to white people. And we think that's our role because it's just genetically ingrained in us. That's been our role for the last 400, 500 years in America. So we've become normalized to it. It's literally in our blood to be second class citizens in America. So we believe that's our natural role as black people. We have to stay around our white massa to be second class citizens, treated like shit, face racism everywhere you turn. Why? For what? You can leave. Why don't you want to leave the plantation? Why do you, as a black American male, why do you not want to leave the plantation called the United States? You want to know why? Because most black American men, most black Americans are still mentally enslaved. Most black Americans are still mentally enslaved. And yes, this shit is genetic. This shit is genetic, man. We don't realize as black people, black Americans, how much slavery genetically shaped our way of thinking and our psychology. Slavery, Jim Crow, and all the repression we've been in America for about 400 years or so as black Americans has genetically shaped our way of thinking, our mentality, and our behaviors. Black Americans, we're still mentally enslaved. We are. Just like in slavery, there are slaves who did not want to leave the plantation. There were slaves during slavery who loved the white slave master who would beat their ass every day. There were slaves during slavery who would say, hey, we don't want to leave America. We don't want to leave the plantation. Master love us. I loves picking cotton. I loves to pick the cotton on the plantation. I loves it. Master loved me. He beat me every day, but he loved me. I want to pick the cotton. I don't want to leave Massa. I don't want to leave Massa. That train of thought is genetically ingrained in our fucking psyche as black Americans and black American men in particular. That's why we do not want to leave the oppressive ass United States of America. We love being second class citizens to white men. We love being under the authority of white men. And black men, they'll be all over this YouTube talking about strong black men. We need to be strong black men, and black men need to support each other. Black men need to do this. Black men need to do that. And they talk about black manhood so much, black manhood this, black manhood that. But if you're so much about manhood as a man, why would you want to be under the authority of another race of man? As a real man, why would you want to be under the authority under another race of man? Why would you want to be under another race of man's authority if you're all about black manhood and if you're all about black men standing on their own 2 feet? What do you want black men to start their own nation? I was like, okay. I mean, that's just a slave mentality, man. And like black men, most black men, even the ones who talk about uplifting black men, most black men deep down inside, we do not want to be uplifted. We love being under the white man's authority. We love being oppressed because that's how we've been genetically conditioned because of slavery for the past 400 years. And we have this thing called Stockholm Syndrome. It's just ingrained in our DNA genetically. That Stockholm Syndrome is a love for your oppressor. Black Americans, most Black Americans have a love for our oppressor. That's why we don't like turning up. Black people, we rather march and hold hands with our oppressor rather than doing what we really should do, to be honest. We love to march and, don't turn up, don't turn up. Oh, don't turn up on white massa. Don't turn up on white massa. Be nice to massa. Be nice to massa. Don't raise your voice towards massa. If you want to get something, just march and smile and hold hands with your massa. Don't beat your massa down. Oh, don't touch massa. Massa could be beating your ass for 400 years, but don't turn up on them. Y'all some whole ass weak niggas. That's what y'all motherfuckers is. Some weak ass black men. That's what y'all is. It's hard to hear, but most black men today are weak as shit. Why would you want to be under another race of man's authority who's been oppressing you for 400 years? I don't understand that. Unless you're a weak ass nigga. Black people, we have the love for our oppressor. That's why we want to be in America. That's why we want to stay in America, because we want to stay around white people, to be second class citizens to white people, and we want to be accepted by white people. And to be accepted by white people, we want to play the second class citizen role to please white people. That's the real root reason why we want to stay in America as white people. And don't tell me otherwise, because we have every excuse not to leave America. Oh, we can't go to Africa. African sold us. African sold us. You can't go to Africa because Africans sold you, but you want to stay in America, the motherfuckers who've been oppressing your black ass for the last 500 years? I don't get that mentality. Africans sold us. Africans sold us. We can't go to Africa. Africans sold us. Africans sold us. What about the Africans who fought against slavery? Not all Africans were going for slavery. Not all Africans sold slaves. There were Africans who fought for the side of the slaves, you know. There were Africans who families were torn apart because of slavery. There was Africans who got their mothers enslaved. There were Africans who got their brothers enslaved. There were Africans who got their daughters and sons, whole families, whole villages torn apart, whole families torn apart because of slavery. So not all Africans were a part of slavery, so get that bullshit out of your mind. The reason why we don't want to go to Africa is because we have fucking self-hate. You could be around, you can go to Europe, you can go to South America, you can go to be passport bros in Brazil, but we can't go to Africa because we have fucking self-hate. That's why. And this mentality, man, It's sickening with black people. And I'm gonna tell y'all the real reason why it is. The black people who do not want to leave Babylon, the United States is Satan's land. We know the United States is Satan's land because the United States has been oppressing black Americans who are God's chosen people for the last 400 years. And if you love America so much, Satan's land, America so much, and you don't want to leave it, it's because you are on Satan's team and you're fucking 2/3 of Israelites who are finna get destroyed. The reason why most black Americans do not want to leave Satan's land, the oppressor of God's chosen people, is because most black Americans are 2/3 who are on Satan's side. If you love America, that means you love Satan. America oppresses God's chosen people. So you love America so much that you don't want to leave it. That means you're a Satanist, and you're most likely a 2/3, or you're not an elect of Israel. These dudes are here to talk about the Hebrew this, but they want to stay in America. I don't understand that. You want to stay in the land of the oppressor of the Hebrews, the people who oppress God's chosen people, this land of Satan, and you claiming you're a Hebrew, but you don't want to leave Satan's land, Satan's economy, Satan's system. You ain't no real Hebrew, bro. You 2/3, bro. You are 2/3. Yes, it is what it is. This is all spiritual at the end of the day. Satan and all of his little children, they love the United States. They love the nation that oppresses God's chosen people to the point that they don't even want to leave it. To the point where they create false theories that black people are Native Americans, that we originally came from this land. Fucking bullshit. We love Satan and Satan's land so much that black Americans, we create false theories that say we originally come from America. That's how much we are on Satan's side. It's sickening, very sickening. All right, you guys, peace.